yeah, I'm really interested in that really hardcore phase that you talked about in the first 2 years. Like, so you said you did a lot of studying, so I'm assuming like textbooks. But did you do it?
No.
Stuff like Anki or like shadowing, stuff like that?
Yes. So let's see. Before I came to Japan, I was kind of interested in the language learning. I hadn't really done any yet, but I was really interested in... You ever heard of the guy that did the Fluent in 3 Months blog back in the day? What's his name again?
Lewis.
Yes, yeah. Benny Lewis, right.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved his blog back in the day when I was like 22, 23. That's when he was just starting to get big. And, you know, obviously the whole Fluent in 3 Months thing is sort of like... You can't really get super fluent in 3 months, but just the idea of like... throwing yourself into the culture and into the world in that country and going all in really appealed to me. So I sort of used his approaches a lot, and of course he was big on Anki. I think I can't remember for sure, but I did RTK, and I quit using English basically from like the second or third month. So I started with like I'd do a day from like the very beginning, my very first day learning Japanese. I just quit English for the day. And I would just look up everything I wanted to say, which was very tedious, man. That was a rough day. But anyway, on my third month, I just quit speaking English altogether for a whole month, even to people who spoke English. And I quit listening to English, so I was only listening to Japanese music. I quit watching videos in English. I was only watching Japanese. Basically like immersion, but before I knew what immersion was. Like before the whole AJAT and things, like there was immersion, but that was just sort of going to the country and living there was what people considered immersion. And that whole, MAT and AJAT has sort of taken the immersion term and, sort of coined it for their sort of media consumption type of thing, which is really cool. But I did that too, as well as sort of just talking to lots of Japanese people in Japan as much as I could. So I'd watch anime or whatever, watch TV in Japanese, and I took iTalk lessons a lot. So I was doing Skype lessons. You had my teacher on your podcast recently.
Oh, really?
Annie. Was it Annie? I was doing lessons with her every single day for like a couple months. So,
wow.
Yeah. She's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I was not interested in textbooks at all. I did not touch any textbooks. I bought the you can probably see it in the background. It's the dictionary, the grammar dictionaries, and I just go through that, and I'd pick one and I'd make a bunch of sentences, and then I'd call Annie on Skype, and we'd go through my sentences, and she'd be like, "No, that's terrible. No, that's terrible. That's terrible." And she'd be like, "You should say it like this," and it, just destroyed my confidence but helped me understand grammar a lot better, which is why I think I'm able to explain it, because I didn't do the textbooks in the beginning. I was just going through the grammar.
Right.
And then I decided to take the JLPT after about a year, just because I was losing interest. So I needed a sort of something to motivate me. And that's when I first started doing some textbook stuff. Annie was like, okay, if you're going to take the JLPT, we need to find a structure. So she pulled out Genki 2, and we started in the middle. So my first experience with textbooks really was the middle of Genki 2 to the end, all the like honorifics and stuff. That was fun. Honorifics. I'm still bad at honorifics. But anyway, yeah. So lots of immersion, lots of speaking. On the weekends, I'd just go out with my friends and try and talk to random Japanese people and stuff. And I started working in a bar in the middle of that. So after about a year and a half of studying, I found this Okinawan restaurant in my town. And the owner was really nice. And I was joking. I was like, I want to work here. He's like, okay, come in next weekend. Okay. So I started working there on weekends after work. I'd work like 9 hours at my Eikaiwa job at the time. Then I'd bike into town 11 kilometers. And then I'd work till 3 a.m. at the bar, just so that I could speak Japanese with the customers and stuff, and learn how to make drinks. That was fun.
Wow.
I learned a lot.